Week 2 of Major League Pickleball in the books. The host team Sliders did not do well, but they were short CJ Klinger, one of their stars. If you blinked, you might have missed the Johns brothers. They were there at the beginning, didn't play because of lighting. Ben sporting the full beard, new look I guess, but that's part of the controversy this week. But the big story in Columbus was the St. Louis Shock. They came and they dominated. We're going to find out how everybody did and get ready for Austin. In a minute, I'm going to give you my grade for various partnerships and mixed doubles and show you some strategies that worked and didn't work. But let's start with the big story, which is the St. Louis Shock and how well they played. Gabe and Hayden were playing really well. They started off a little bit rough against the Atlanta Bouncers, but they pulled that one out and they won that match completely 4-0. Second match, Hayden and Gabe lost to Jay and Noe. I think they were playing a little too fast and loose with Jay and Noe, so Jay and Noe won that one, but St. Louis too strong in the women's and in the mixed doubles, and they end up taking the match as well, getting the 3 points. What I really want to dive into is this next match here, which was against the Squeeze. The Squeeze was the premier matchup, St. Louis Shock and Orlando Squeeze. This is a top team here. Dylan Frazier, Federico Staksrud, 2 top 10 players playing together. Hayden and Gabe crash in the middle there. You can see that nice formation they have there, really aggressive in the middle, dominating that space. What I want to show you here is some of the difficulty of dealing with a team that can stay in the game, right? Not playing too fast and loose, able to defend when Dylan attacks here, and then just able to continue grinding and looking for an opportunity to generate that kind of firepower. Hayden and Gabe are going to be one of the toughest teams this year, the entire season for MLP. Here we're going to see some more firepower by these young players. I got to tell you that, we can watch it here on the screen and it's impressive, but watching it live is totally different. If you get the chance to watch it live, highly recommend that you do. You see Hayden's attack there, super effective. And if you want to see more about Hayden Patriquin's great offense, make sure you subscribe to this channel here because we have an entire breakdown coming up on Hayden Patriquin's offense, including some tips that you can add to your game. Here we're going to see Hayden now attack off the bounce in a second. And when you're playing against a young team like this that's feeling like they can do whatever they want like that, it's going to be really hard to overcome that. Just too much firepower by these young players. This rally here, what I want to show you is, again, they're playing Dylan Frazier and Federico Staksrud, top players. Federico Staksrud is known as a very patient player. He's adopted kind of a Ben Johns mentality when he plays. He'll grind as long as you want to normally. But what you're going to see here is even Federico, because of the pressure that Hayden and Gabe are putting on him, goes for a lob there. He knows it wasn't the right idea, and he turns around and he's like, what was that all about? So you're going to see it from this angle here. But, Federico, pretty patient player, doesn't really lob from the MBZ too much with Hayden and Gabe trying to do something, trying to force something. And so they end up losing that match. Hayden and Gabe won that very convincingly. The women's match, very convincing win here. Anna Bright and Kate Fahey, just too much firepower. They're going to be strong all year long. And then in the mixed doubles, this match here was actually a pretty tight match. Federico and Lacey did a really good job of pushing Gabe and Kate. Controversy here, there's a hindrance. So I'm going to let the referee run in a second so you can hear what the referee ruled. This is a kind of an unusual situation.
Calling a distraction on the St. Louis bench for a verbal outbreak before the end of a rally. The result of the rally is now 10-9-2.
Wow, so we've got the owner out on the court as well. So here we go. Match point number 2.
So you can see Kate Fahey there wasn't happy with that situation. So there's a hindrance call. Gabe looks at Federico because they're friends and says, what's going on? But at the end of the day, it's still a finish by Gabe here. In the middle, I'm going to show you, I'm going to pause it here for a second and show you Gabe's going to basically attack from here. A good attack by him. And then he's able to duck out of that situation there, that ball there. Kate Fahey, a few words for Federico and Lacey. But in the end, they end up winning anyway. And then here you have Anna and Hayden against Dylan and Samantha. And just a little bit too much here. Dylan is trying to, you see Dylan's going to try and create here. He's trying to insert himself and create, hits a lob long, end up finishing here. This is one of the beauties of this sport, this camaraderie where you get all of the teams getting together at the end. There's still going to be some back patting and high-fiving. This is one of the beauties of MLP, and highly recommend that you check it out if you get a chance live or following it on Pickleball TV. Shock went 6-0, beat all these teams in Columbus. And I'm telling you, this team here, the Shock, are going to be the team to watch this season. What was your favorite story from MLP Columbus? Was it the Johns against the lighting? Was it the storm dominating the field? Was it the cool graphics on the walls of the venue? Or was it something else? Whatever it was, share it with us down in the comments. In this week's team chemistry pairings, where we rate them with high fives, we are going to be looking at mixed doubles, and we're going to start with Jay Devilliers and Maya Bowie. I really like the way this team is playing. What we're going to see here is a nice shake and bake where Jay's going to attack from here and Maya's going to go in there and finish. That kind of a playing together as a team in mixed doubles is rare unless they play a lot together in MLP. They don't play a lot all the time, so seeing that kind of chemistry is really good. I also got to see them play in Orlando where they battle back for some tough spots. I like the chemistry. I like their interaction between themselves, always supporting each other. It's really positive. Jay, a lot of times the male player tends to overplay. We're going to see that later on with Andrei. And Jay has overplayed in the past in mixed, but what you're going to see here in this rally is you're going to see that Maya is able to basically play her side, which is super good. She's able to attack that ball, feeling a freedom to do so. I think this team has potential to do even better. This week I'm going to give them 4 out of 5 high fives, but I wouldn't be surprised if next week or a week after they get to 5. This next mixed doubles team we're going to look at is one of the Atlanta Bouncers. It's Jaume, Martinez-Vich, and Vivian Glozman. This team has a lot of offensive firepower and they're very athletic. So I'm looking forward to them to do a lot of good things. Here what we're going to see is we're going to see them play really good assignments. Vivian's going to hang back and basically try and set Jaume up, who's up there. Then she's going to follow him in and attack down the line. I actually don't mind the attack. She saw an opening and went for it. Didn't quite get it there, and Gabe's pretty fast. But I like her willingness to make those moves, and I like their assignments here. They're still working on some of the issues in terms of middle coverage and things like that and how big Jaume is going to play. So there's still some work to do. But I'm looking forward to this team to really advance this season. Right now I'm giving them 3 high fives. The next team we're going to look at is Jack Sock and Genie Bouchard, 2 former professional tennis players playing for the Phoenix Flames. And what I see here is I see them not really playing pickleball. You're going to see them basically not trying to do anything that's pickleball that generates rhythm. We're going to see Genie hit a bunch of shots now, none of them of which will build a pickleball rally, and then Jack is going to come across and again hit the kind of a desperation shot. And what I find is even though they're mechanically proficient because they come from tennis, so they know how to hit balls well, they don't really understand how to construct a pickleball rally. And that's why, pickleball is not just knowing how to hit the shots, it's knowing how everything is built together. That's what we teach inside our Better Pickleball Academy. You can check it out. But right now, the way that these two are playing pickleball, 1 high five. This next team here is the one that most surprises me because we're talking about Andrei Daescu and Todd. Both of these players are amazing players, but playing together, they're underperforming. This first rally we're going to look at here, what I want you to look at is focus on this middle section here as they're playing. Andrei's going to reach across and get a ball that's not his. There's a mess in there that's going to happen, and it just looks very disorganized. You're going to see basically Andrei reach across here. Now everybody's out of sorts, right? You can't play that way, right? You need to have clarity. And what I think is happening here is Andrei is actually playing too big. I'm going to show you a poach that he hits that's fantastic because you can play big. You can go get balls. But there are situations where you're playing too big, particularly when you're playing with like here, right? He's going across, taking his dink. He's going to do it again in a second. Todd, top 5 player. You're going to have a top 3 player perhaps. And Andrei's going over there and taking dinks from her, not letting her get into a rhythm. And you're going to see Lacey's going to burn him twice. I'm going to show you in a second. Now here, I believe this is the one that he poaches, right? And that's fine, but you got to let your partner set you up and work, right? So Paris is doing her job and then Andrei comes and poaches. Fantastic. Play big. Don't play so big, however, that you're interfering with a top player's play, Paris's play, and you're getting burned because you're trying to do too much. You're trying to get too fancy for it, too cute, if you will. And you're going to see Andrei here. He keeps on like fainting to the middle, and then he gets burned down the line by Lacey. Lacey's a good player. Lacey's going to figure that out. This next one is absolutely nasty what she does. She's going to burn him down the line, and we're going to show it twice. And it's almost like she does a walk-off here where she basically just boop and burns him down the line. They're going to turn the angle now. You see it from the other side. It is just a nasty pass where she almost does a paddle drop at the end. She does, you'll see here, she's going to basically do it bloop, And then she looks over, everybody loses their minds. And don't forget that if you want to follow the action of Major League Pickleball this season, it's on Pickleball TV. You can get it on your computer, on your tablet, on your phone. Follow the action on Pickleball TV. I almost forgot to give them my rating, but these two players are way too good to be playing like this, where they're just a disaster in the middle here. No one knows what's going on, and Andrei's playing too big. I think they can sort it out, but for right now, it's got to be one high five. Here are the standings after 2 weeks of action, but we like to use points per match because it takes care of the fact that these teams have played a different number of matches. Based on points per match, we have Dallas and St. Louis at the top with 3 and 2.88. And then we have the Orlando Squeeze, the Texas Rangers, and the New Jersey Fives rounding out the top 5 in Major League Pickleball. Major League Pickleball next moves to Austin, Texas for Memorial Day weekend, May 23rd to the 26th. It's going to be an exciting 4 days of pickleball with the challenger levels coming in and some really exciting premier action. What we're looking for on the premier side is we're looking for the Texas Rangers to swing back into action. They have a really high-powered offense. We're looking forward to watch them play. And we have the top 2 teams from last year, the defending champions and the runners-up. The Fives and the Dallas Flash are back in action in Austin. If you're in the Austin area for Memorial Day weekend, try and check out Major League Pickleball live. There's nothing else like it. Go to majorleaguepickleball.co and use the code BPAcademy at checkout to get a discount and let them know we sent you. Next week, the pros are at the PPA Tour stop in Atlanta. If you happen to be there, please say hello so I can say hello back. Until the next time we see each other, be well.